Life is shaped by the beliefs we hold and the mindset we carry. When you choose to act as if everything always works out for you, you shift the way you approach challenges, opportunities, and even setbacks. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist, but about creating a deep, rooted faith that no matter what happens, the outcome will ultimately serve your growth and well-being. Acting with this belief allows you to walk through life with confidence, resilience, and optimism. Adopting a mindset of certainty is one of the most powerful choices you can make if you want to act as if everything always works out for you. Certainty doesn't mean you know every detail of how life will unfold, nor does it mean that you are immune to setbacks, delays, or struggles. What it truly means is that you carry a deep, unshakable belief that no matter what happens, you will end up exactly where you need to be. This way of thinking becomes the foundation for your peace, confidence, and resilience. Most people live in a state of doubt and fear. They constantly worry about what might go wrong, about whether they are capable enough, about whether the world is against them. This energy of uncertainty becomes a magnet for hesitation, missed opportunities, and unnecessary stress. But when you adopt a mindset of certainty, you shift your energy entirely. Instead of doubting whether you'll succeed, you operate as though success is inevitable. Instead of worrying whether things will fall into place, you behave as if they already are. That energy alone transforms how you move through life, and it also transforms how life responds to you. Certainty is attractive. When you look around at the people you admire, leaders, visionaries, or even friends who seem to navigate life effortlessly, you'll notice they all share a sense of calm assurance. They may not always know the details, but they trust themselves and they trust the process. That inner knowing radiates outward and draws people, opportunities, and circumstances toward them. Others can feel it. People are naturally drawn to someone who is grounded, confident, and unwavering. By adopting certainty, you position yourself as someone others want to work with, support, and follow. This mindset also changes how you interpret obstacles. Imagine two people facing the exact same setback. One person doubts themselves and sees the obstacle as a sign to quit. The other person, living with certainty, sees it as a temporary detour. The first person gives up, the second person perseveres, and as a result, the second person eventually discovers the opportunity hidden in the challenge. That difference lies entirely in mindset. Certainty doesn't erase challenges, but it ensures you rise above them, rather than crumble under their weight. Another benefit of certainty is the peace of mind it brings. Life becomes lighter when you no longer overthink every decision or stress about the unknown. Instead of obsessing about whether you're making the right move, you remind yourself that whichever choice you make will lead to growth. Instead of stressing over the timing of your goals, you trust that you are not late, not behind, but exactly where you need to be. That faith allows you to enjoy the present moment rather than constantly battling with what ifs. Adopting certainty also empowers you to take bigger actions. Most people hesitate when opportunities appear because they are paralyzed by the possibility of failure. But when you live with the belief that everything is working out for you, failure stops being something to fear. You understand that even if the outcome isn't what you expected, it is still leading you toward where you are meant to be. This knowledge gives you courage to act boldly, to seize opportunities, and to walk through doors others are too afraid to approach. Ultimately, adopting a mindset of certainty is a choice. It's choosing to believe in yourself even when others don't. It's choosing to trust the bigger picture, even when the details aren't clear. It's choosing to walk with confidence, even when the path is uncertain. This mindset shifts your inner world, and your outer world will always reflect the belief you carry inside. When you act as if everything always works out for you, that certainty begins to shape your reality until it becomes your truth. Life is full of twists and turns, and no matter how carefully we plan. Setbacks are inevitable, but the way you interpret those setbacks determines whether they break you or build you. To act as if everything always works out for you, you must learn to transform every obstacle into a stepping stone. Instead of seeing challenges as dead ends, you begin to recognize them as redirections, lessons, and opportunities in disguise. This shift in perspective is one of the most powerful ways to navigate life with strength and purpose. Most people see setbacks as proof of failure. They interpret delays, rejections, or mistakes as signs that they aren't good enough, or that life is against them. This mindset not only crushes confidence, but also prevents growth. On the other hand, those who believe everything works out for them interpret setbacks differently. When something doesn't go their way, they assume there's a reason, even if they don't yet see it. They understand that life may be removing them from the wrong path to guide them to the right one. This belief keeps them moving forward, rather than sinking into despair. Think about a time in your own life when something went wrong, but later turned out to be a blessing. Perhaps you didn't get the job you wanted, only to later discover a better opportunity. Maybe a relationship ended, but that ending allowed you to discover your independence and eventually attract someone more aligned with your values. Setbacks often reveal themselves as setups for something greater. When you adopt this perspective, you stop fearing obstacles and start trusting the journey. Transforming setbacks into stepping stones also strengthens resilience. Resilient people don't crumble when life knocks them down. They adapt, adjust, and grow stronger. They see each challenge as training for the next level of their life. For example, an athlete who loses a competition can either quit in frustration or use the loss as motivation to train harder. The setback becomes the very reason they achieve greater success later. In this way, obstacles are not the end of the road, but part of the preparation for what lies ahead. Another important aspect of this mindset is the way it reframes failure. Failure is not a final judgment, it is feedback. When something doesn't go as planned, it's life showing you what doesn't work so you can discover what does. Every mistake carries a lesson, and every rejection carries redirection. The moment you stop labeling experiences as failures and start calling them teachers, you unlock the ability to learn and grow from anything. This is the essence of transforming setbacks into stepping stones. This mindset also frees you from self-pity. Many people get stuck asking, "Why me?" whenever something goes wrong. But when you believe everything works out for you, your question changes. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you ask, "What is this teaching me?" That single shift takes you out of victimhood and places you back in control of your life. It allows you to respond with curiosity instead of despair, growth instead of defeat. Over time, this approach builds unshakable confidence. You stop fearing the future because you know that even if things don't go exactly as planned, they will still serve your highest good. You walk into situations with courage because you are not paralyzed by the possibility of failure. You understand that even a setback is progress. It is movement, it is learning, it is growth. Nothing is wasted, because everything contributes to your journey. In the end, setbacks are not roadblocks, but stepping stones that elevate you to a higher level. When you trust that every challenge carries hidden gifts, you stop resisting life and start flowing with it. This is how you build resilience, courage, and wisdom. Acting as if everything always works out for you doesn't mean you'll never face difficulties. It means you'll never let those difficulties define you. Instead, you'll use them as fuel to rise higher, stronger, and wiser than before. When you act as if everything always works out for you, something powerful happens. You begin to radiate positive energy. This energy is not just a fleeting smile or a few kind words. It is an entire presence that people can feel. It is the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you respond to challenges, and the way you treat others. Positive energy is magnetic. It attracts people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your highest good. More importantly, it creates an atmosphere of trust and hope within yourself, reinforcing your belief that life is unfolding in your favor. Radiating positive energy starts with your inner world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are the fuel for the energy you project outward. When you constantly worry, complain, or expect the worst, you give off energy that feels heavy, and people naturally pull away from it. But when you choose optimism, gratitude, and confidence, you radiate lightness that others want to be around. It's not about pretending to be happy all the time. It's about choosing to focus on what's possible instead of what's broken. That shift in perspective is contagious, uplifting both you and those around you. The way you talk to yourself also plays a major role. If you constantly criticize yourself, your energy reflects insecurity and doubt. But if you speak words of encouragement and self-belief, your energy reflects assurance and peace. This inner dialogue shapes the way you interact with the world. For example, someone who believes, "Everything works out for me," will walk into a job interview with calm confidence, while someone who believes, "Things never work out," will carry nervous, anxious energy that others can sense. Energy often speaks louder than words. Radiating positivity doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, it means handling them with grace. When challenges arise, your response sets the tone. A person who panics or reacts with anger sends out chaotic energy, while a person who remains calm and solutions-focused sends out stability. People are drawn to those who can keep a steady spirit in turbulent times. By radiating positive energy in moments of difficulty, you not only keep yourself grounded, but also become a source of strength for others. This is why leaders, mentors, and role models are often described as having a presence. It is their energy that inspires trust. Another important aspect of radiating positive energy is generosity. When you give, whether it's your time, your encouragement, or your kindness, you amplify your energy. Positivity expands when it's shared. A simple smile, a word of support, or a small act of kindness can completely shift the energy of another person's day. And because energy is reciprocal, the positivity you radiate often finds its way back to you in unexpected blessings. This creates a cycle where the more positivity you put out, the more positivity you attract. People who act as if everything works out for them also tend to radiate hope. They carry a belief that no matter what happens, the future is bright. This kind of hope is powerful because it lifts others as well. When you walk into a room with faith and optimism, you create a ripple effect. Suddenly others begin to feel more hopeful too. In this way, your personal energy doesn't just affect your own life, it becomes a force that elevates everyone you encounter. In the bigger picture, radiating positive energy aligns you with abundance. Life tends to mirror the energy you project. When you carry an aura of gratitude, confidence, and joy, you naturally draw in opportunities that reflect those same qualities. It's as if the universe responds to your energy by saying, "Here's more of what you believe in." On the other hand, negativity attracts more negativity. This is why consciously choosing to radiate positivity is such a powerful practice. It sets the tone for the reality you create. Ultimately, radiating positive energy is both a mindset and a lifestyle. It comes from trusting that life is working in your favor, even when things don't look perfect. It comes from choosing gratitude over complaint, calm over chaos, and hope over fear. When you radiate that kind of energy, you don't just improve your own life. You inspire others to believe in theirs as well. This is how you become a living example of the truth, that everything really does work out for you. Fear of the future is one of the greatest chains that holds people back from living fully. Most of us spend so much time worrying about what might go wrong that we rarely stop to imagine what could go right. We create scenarios in our minds that fill us with doubt, anxiety, and hesitation, and in doing so, we rob ourselves of the power of the present moment. But when you act as if everything always works out for you, you release that fear of the future. You replace uncertainty with trust, panic with calmness, and hesitation with courage. The truth is, fear of the future is often rooted in the need for control. Human beings want to know exactly what will happen, when it will happen, and how it will happen. When life doesn't provide those guarantees, fear creeps in. But here's the reality: you will never have full control over every detail of your future. No one does. The only thing you can control is how you show up in the present moment. When you learn to trust that the future will unfold in your favor, you free yourself from the burden of needing to control everything. Releasing fear of the future begins with shifting your perspective. Instead of seeing the unknown as something to dread, begin to see it as something full of potential. The unknown is not your enemy. It is the place where your greatest opportunities, relationships, and breakthroughs are waiting. Every beautiful thing in your life today was once unknown to you. That job, that friendship, that success. It all came from stepping into the unknown. When you trust that the unknown is working for you, fear begins to dissolve. This mindset also allows you to stop living in worst-case scenarios. Many people play out fear-based stories in their minds. What if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if it doesn't work out? But those stories are simply imaginations fueled by fear. Instead, people who act as if everything works out for them ask a different question. What if it all goes right? That simple shift changes the energy completely. Suddenly, the future doesn't look like a battlefield. It looks like a playground of possibilities. Releasing fear of the future also empowers you to live in the present. Fear robs you of today by making you obsess over tomorrow. You spend your energy worrying about situations that may never even happen, and in the process, you miss the beauty and opportunities that are right in front of you. When you trust that the future will work out, you are able to fully engage in the present. You enjoy the journey instead of obsessing about the destination. Ironically, this presence is what creates a better future, because the actions you take today shape the tomorrow you will experience. Another powerful benefit of releasing fear is the courage it gives you to take risks. Fear of the future often paralyzes people, keeping them from pursuing their dreams, speaking their truth, or stepping into new opportunities. They wait for certainty before taking action. But certainty never comes. Those who trust that everything works out don't need certainty to move forward. They move anyway, knowing that even if things don't go exactly as planned, they will still grow, learn, and end up where they are meant to be. That boldness often leads to breakthroughs that fear would have stolen. It's also important to understand that fear of the future doesn't protect you. It only limits you. Worrying about tomorrow doesn't prevent problems, it only drains your energy today. Trusting the future, however, fuels you with confidence and peace. It allows you to live from a place of faith instead of fear, and that faith changes the way you speak, think, and act. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because when you expect life to work out for you, you create the conditions for it to happen. Ultimately, releasing fear of the future is about surrendering control and embracing trust. It's about reminding yourself that life is not happening to you but for you. Every step, even the uncertain ones, is guiding you closer to your purpose. When you let go of fear and embrace trust, you not only change your future, you also transform your present into a life filled with calm, joy, and hope. Living boldly and taking action is one of the most important expressions of the belief that everything always works out for you. Too many people let fear, doubt, and hesitation hold them back from pursuing their dreams or stepping into new opportunities. They wait for the perfect moment, the right conditions, or complete certainty before they act. But the truth is, those perfect conditions rarely ever come. Life rewards those who move with courage, not those who wait endlessly for guarantees. When you carry the mindset that things always work in your favor, You give yourself permission to act boldly, trusting that no matter the outcome, it will lead you to growth and success. Living boldly does not mean being reckless. It does not mean ignoring risks or charging ahead blindly. Rather, it means refusing to let fear of failure or judgment dictate your choices. It means having the courage to follow your intuition, pursue your passions, and step outside of your comfort zone. Bold living requires faith, the kind of faith that says, even if I don't know exactly how this will turn out, I trust that it will ultimately benefit me. That faith is what turns hesitation into action and dreams into reality. Taking action is where transformation happens. Thinking, planning, and visualizing are valuable, but they alone will not change your life. Action is the bridge between intention and manifestation. When you act boldly, you set things in motion. You create momentum. Opportunities that would have stayed hidden begin to appear because you've taken a step forward. People often say, luck is what makes someone succeed, but in reality, it's bold action that puts people in positions where luck can find them. One of the reasons people avoid bold action is fear of failure. They worry that if things don't go perfectly, they will be embarrassed, judged, or disappointed. But when you adopt the mindset that everything works out for you, failure loses its sting. A so-called failure becomes nothing more than feedback, showing you what doesn't work so you can adjust and try again. Each action, whether it leads to success or a lesson, is progress. And progress, over time, leads to breakthroughs. Bold action is not about getting it perfect. It's about moving forward, learning, and growing. Living boldly also means being willing to take risks. Risk is unavoidable in life. Even staying still carries risk, the risk of regret, the risk of stagnation, the risk of missing out on your potential. But when you act as if life is always working out for you, you stop seeing risk as something to fear and start seeing it as a doorway to possibility. Every bold move you make, whether it's starting a business, speaking your truth, traveling to new places, or chasing a dream, carries the potential to change your life in extraordinary ways. Another aspect of living boldly is authenticity. When you trust that everything is unfolding in your favor, you don't feel the need to shrink yourself to fit others' expectations. You speak your truth with confidence, you stand by your values, and you pursue what genuinely lights you up. That authenticity is powerful. It not only liberates you but also inspires others to live more courageously. Boldness is not just about big external actions. Sometimes it's about the quiet courage of being fully yourself in a world that often pressures you to conform. The beauty of living boldly and taking action is that it creates a ripple effect. Each courageous step builds confidence, and each small victory fuels the next. Over time, bold action becomes a habit, and fear loses its grip on your life. You begin to realize that the only real limitation was hesitation. The moment you chose to act, you stepped into a life of possibility, growth, and abundance. Ultimately, living boldly and taking action is how you prove to yourself that you truly believe everything works out for you. It's easy to say the words, but action shows faith in motion. Action says, I trust life enough to move forward even without guarantees. And that trust is what opens the doors to opportunities, success, and fulfillment that you could never have reached by standing still. Gratitude and trust are the twin pillars that hold up the belief that everything always works out for you. Gratitude keeps you focused on the blessings you already have, while trust allows you to move confidently into the blessings you have not yet seen. Together, they form a mindset that is unshakable, peaceful, and magnetic to even greater opportunities. To act as if life is always working in your favor, you must practice both gratitude for the present and trust in the future. Gratitude is one of the most transformative states of mind. When you are grateful, you shift your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. Instead of worrying about what you don't have yet, you appreciate the gifts that are already part of your life, your health, your family, your experiences, your lessons, and even your challenges. Gratitude doesn't mean everything is perfect, but it means you choose to focus on the good that exists within the imperfection. This perspective not only brings peace but also attracts more positivity, because whatever you appreciate tends to expand. Trust, on the other hand, is about surrendering control and believing that life is unfolding in your favor, even when you don't understand how. Many people struggle with trust because they want to see the entire plan laid out before them. They want guarantees that everything will happen exactly as they envision it. But real trust is stepping forward, even without the full map, knowing that the path will reveal itself as you go. It's the quiet confidence that the universe, God, or life itself is guiding you toward what is best for you, even if it doesn't look like it right now. Cultivating gratitude and trust also changes how you experience challenges. When difficulties arise, instead of feeling defeated, you begin to ask, what can I be grateful for in this situation? What is this teaching me? How might this be guiding me to something greater? Gratitude allows you to extract wisdom and strength from hard times, while trust reassures you that the situation will not last forever. It is part of a bigger picture. This mindset prevents you from being consumed by negativity and keeps you anchored in hope. Another powerful effect of gratitude is that it grounds you in the present. Fear and anxiety often come from obsessing about the future or regretting the past. Gratitude brings you back to now. It reminds you that even in this very moment, you have things to be thankful for: your breath, your opportunities, your resilience, your potential. When you live in gratitude, you find joy in small things and contentment in daily life. This creates inner peace, which is one of the strongest signs of someone who truly believes everything works out. Trust, too, builds courage. When you deeply trust life, you no longer hold yourself back out of fear of the unknown. You take bold steps because you believe that, no matter the outcome, it will serve your growth. Trust makes you less controlling and more flexible. Instead of panicking when things don't go according to plan, you adjust and move forward, knowing that sometimes the detours lead to destinations even better than the ones you imagined. Together, gratitude and trust create a cycle of abundance. Gratitude makes you magnetic by celebrating what you already have, and trust keeps you open to receive what is coming next. This combination shifts your energy so dramatically that others can sense it. People are drawn to those who are grateful rather than bitter, and trusting rather than fearful. Your energy becomes light, uplifting, and inspiring. This attracts opportunities, connections, and experiences that align with your belief that life is always working for you. Ultimately, cultivating gratitude and trust is a daily practice. It is not something you do once, but something you weave into your life. Each morning, you can choose to wake up grateful for a new day. Each time a challenge arises, you can choose to trust that it will lead to growth. Each time doubt creeps in, you can return to the truth that everything you've gone through so far has prepared you for this moment. And everything you face now will prepare you for what's to come. When you live with gratitude in your heart and trust in your soul, you carry an unshakable peace. You no longer chase life anxiously. You flow with it gracefully. You no longer doubt every turn. You believe each turn is purposeful. Gratitude and trust together form the essence of acting as if everything always works out for you. Because with this mindset, everything truly does.